Welcome to the show. Horrible news about Jose Fernandez yesterday. Genuinely one of my favourite pitchers in the game. 24 is no age. Just so sad, and I wanted to just pay a little bit of tribute before we get into the show. Welcome to the Dan Sports Tips Daily Fantasy MLB show for today, the 26th of September. I will be taking a look at everything you need for your daily fantasy games on DraftKings today. I'll be looking at starting pitchers, stacks of the day, how we can construct a lineup to maximise point scoring potential, foundation players at each position, and a value player as well that obviously should finish off your lineups. Starting pitchers today, Corey Kluber of the Cleveland Indians for 13,500. He represents a clear top pitcher today, and he is priced accordingly. Having struggled down the years against the Tigers, he does appear to have figured them out this year with a 3-0 record and a 1.88 ERA in games against the Detroit Tigers. He offers good strikeout upside. He's got 224 strikeouts in 211 innings pitched. Despite the Tigers ranking below average for strikeouts this year, he has struck out 24 Tigers in 22 innings across his 3 starts, pitching at least 7 innings on each occasion. Kluber has had his usual strong second half with a 10-2 record, 2.69 ERA in his last 15 games. Hitting conditions do look quite favourable in terms of wind for the hitters in Detroit today, though, so that is a slight drawback back on the play. Tanner Roark of Washington for 10,400. Roark doesn't offer huge amounts of strikeout upside with 162 in 201/3 innings, but he is a fairly certain sort of like production level with the cost at a decent level, and is definitely in play for cash games. He's 8-4 with a 2.42 ERA in his last 15 starts. He did pitch a quality start in victory against Arizona on the road, his only time he's seen them this year, pitching 6 1/3 with 3 earned runs allowed and 6 strikeouts. Though there is some rain in the forecast in Washington today, which means that's worth keeping an eye on before you plug Roark into your lineups. Colin McHugh of Houston for 8,100 is facing Seattle today, and he has dominated the Mariners this year, going 4-0 with a 1.08 ERA against them. Seattle are below average for strikeouts, and McHugh has 166 of those in 170 innings on the year. He has a 5-0 record despite a 4.25 ERA in his last 7 games, but he has been, he's been in reasonable form, allowing only 3 earned runs over his last 3 starts, which includes a start against Seattle where he pitched 7 innings of shutout ball with 6 strikeouts. I think he's got decent upside in the matchup today. And Jaime Garcia of St. Louis for 6,800. I'm willing to take a shot at Garcia today in the price range. He returns to the to starting job from a spell in the rotation. Even in the midst of a bad run of form earlier, I think it was last month, he pitched 8 innings, allowing 2 earned runs with 4 strikeouts against these Reds. He does have a couple of games this year where he's pitched double-digit strikeouts in starts as well. Despite his struggles this year, home and away, he's often been better at Busch, and obviously he does get to pitch at home. Today, looking at stacks of the day for the day, while the weather is on the cool side in the windy city, the forecast does show that it's going to be fairly windy, blowing out towards sort of centre and left at the cell. With James Shields on the hill to take on one of his former teams, it's probably worth stacking some Rays. I'll take third baseman Evan Longoria for 4,800. He's a 278 hitter with 36 homers this year. Brad Miller can be used at first or at short. He's 4,600 today. He has the platoon and a home run against James Shields. He's hitting 250 with 30 home runs on the season, 333 with 2 homers in the last 7 games. Outfielder Corey Dickerson for 4,200. He has the platoon and a homer against Shields, 247 with 23 homers on the year, 3 home runs in his last 7 games. Kevin Kiermaier in the outfield for 4,200 has the platoon advantage as well. He's a 247 hitter with 12 homers and 20 steals this year. And Logan Forsythe for 4,000 at second base is a 273 hitter with 20 home runs. Reasonable looking hitting conditions are. Despite a recent solid performance, I don't trust Martin Perez of Texas, so I'm willing to take the Brewers in Texas today. They hit lefties well in the matchup that's going to be the Jonathan LaCroix reunion with Milwaukee. I'm going to take outfielder Ryan Braun for 5,500. He's got the platoon advantage in the matchup, hitting 308 with 16 stolen bases and 30 home runs. He's got 3 home runs in his last 7 games. First baseman Chris Carter for 4,500. He also has the platoon, has 2 home runs against Perez. He's only hitting for an average of 220 this year, but he has 38 home runs, 3 of which have come in the last 7. Outfielder Domingo Santana is a standard play against a lefty. He's 4,300, has the platoon, 255 hit with 10 home runs. And Jonathan Villar qualifies at third and short. He's a 5,000 hitter. The switch hitter is better against a lefty pitcher. He's hitting 280 with 16 home runs and 59 steals this year. Has been slumping lately. My foundation plays today. At first, it's Anthony Rizzo of the Chicago Cubs for 5,400. He has the platoon and a home run against Chad Kuhl. Kuhl has allowed 7 earned runs across 2 starts against the Cubs this year. He's a 291 hitter, Rizzo, with 31 home runs. Second baseman Jason Kipnis of Cleveland for 5,200. It's the platoon against Buck Farmer, as I said when talking about Kluber. There are pretty good hitting conditions forecast there today. 275 with 23 home runs on the year. Third baseman Josh Donaldson of Toronto for 5,300 has a homer against Luis Severino, who starts for the Yankees. He's a 285 hitter with 36 homers. 2 of them have come in the last 7 games. Shortstop Aledmys Diaz of St. Louis for 4,600. He's hitting 301 with 16 homers this year. Outfielder Giancarlo Stanton of Miami for 4,800. I was going to leave this game alone today for obvious reasons. But I think someone's going to do something in the game. I was thinking maybe D. Gordon at second, but I've gone with Stanton. He's got a couple of home runs against Bartolo Colon. He's hitting 241 this year with 27 homers. He has started to swing the bat well lately. He's got 2 home runs in the last 7 games. Catcher Stephen Vogt of Oakland for 3,300. He has the platoon and a couple of home runs against Jared Weaver. Always nice to oppose Weaver, though he has pitched reasonably well lately. Vogt is a 254 hitter with 12 home runs on the year. First baseman Matt Adams for St. Louis. He's $4,000 today. He gets to face Tim Adelman, who he has the platoon advantage against. Adelman has allowed 10 home runs across his last 6 starts. That's the basis for the play, really. Second baseman Joey Wendell of Oakland for 2,600 has the platoon against Weaver as a 274 hitter with a homer. Ryan Healy, also of Oakland, at third for 3,600. He's hitting 303 with 12 homers, including 1 yesterday. Shortstop Troy Tulowitzki of Toronto for 3,800, 251 with 24 home runs on the year. And outfielder Tyler Naquin of Cleveland for $4,000. He has the platoon and a home run against Buck Farmer. He's hitting 298 with 14 homers this season. That's what I've got for you today. Best of luck with your lineups. Rest in peace, Jose.